Welcome to What Crisis? Fully living in your midlife and beyond. I'm your host, Dan Johansson. What Crisis offers insight and guidance on living an intentional life for people who find themselves on a journey of growth in their middle years. Is there a crisis? Absolutely. The crisis of realizing you're literally on the backside of your life and you haven't truly been living. Whether you're looking to grow into a better version of yourself, or to find or strengthen your loving relationships, or maybe just learn how to give yourself the permission to lead a purpose-driven life with joy and grace, you'll learn something new every episode. So come along for the ride. Hey there. I want to talk a little about a very human aspect of acting on your desire and willingness. Earlier, we talked about the things that we want and having the willingness to go after them and what that might look like for you or for me. But I want to open myself up here about one particular journey of which I happen to be in the middle of right now. If you remember, one of my desires and intentions is to travel. And here I am, recording this week's episode from a hotel in Paris. I had the desire and the willingness. And it's been an amazing adventure through both London and Paris this past week. But there was an unexpected hitch to the execution of my plan. Feelings. Now, London was pretty easy for me. I was all caught up in my love for all things British. That stems from my childhood, so I walked across Abbey Road, barefoot. If you know, you know. I discovered a beautiful mix of English food, subways, talkative cabbies, music and wide-eyed wonder everywhere. And then after a few days of exploring London, I took the train to Paris, and something arrived there at the station with me. A tug on my heart. I'm in Paris, one of the most romantic places on earth, as we're led to believe. And I was stopped in my tracks. I had all the feels. Ones I was afraid I'd be feeling. A little lonely, sad, maybe even a bit anxious. And after my first afternoon there, just wandering the city, the next morning I could barely get out of bed. And after I finally made it down to the lobby for breakfast, I went straight back to bed till like noon, even though I'm in Paris, because I needed to be with all that I was feeling and not push it away just yet. Because the only way to truly get past something isn't to ignore it, but to move through it the best way we can. Sit with it until you're ready to move out of it. So that's what I did. Now, don't cry for me, Argentina. I'm in Paris. I understand the bounty of it all. And my ability to even be here is something that many don't have the opportunity or ability to do. But like most everyone, I had this fantasy of what it would look like or feel like. And I have to admit that always involved being here with someone special. But I've been making excuses for so long on why I haven't done things like this. The whole someday when whatever excuse you want to use kind of thing. But someday is a mythical thing that's always out of arm's reach. A perpetual excuse. Hence, in my own version of crisis, that's how I got here today. So here I am, feeling everything. And I could buckle. I could back down. Who would even know if I spent the whole day in bed wallowing in this pitié de soi? I would. And while I'd love to be walking the Seine hand in hand with the one I love, the Seine and I are here. And 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So I got my ass out of bed and I walked from my hotel to the river, and I walked for miles until I hit one of the many hearts of this incredible city. I walked through crowds. I walked down empty streets. I talked with bartenders and shop owners. I even hung out for a little while with a group of folks from home who were waiting in line at the d'Orsay Museum after I couldn't ignore their loud voices complaining about the long friggin' line in that unmistakable Boston accent. And I just did it. I did all I wanted and all I could at my pace, but I did it. I refused to let the churn of emotion change my plan. Sure, I'm here solo, but I reminded myself that such things take bravery. To dream and then act on a dream always takes bravery. So I chose to carry that as my torch and let my entire being lead with curiosity. I found a balance. I leaned into this combination of feelings and experience, and I let myself feel everything. I gave my permission to feel everything. And it became my companion and the lens that I saw things through, because it's part of the plan. And plans don't always go perfectly, but we don't give up, do we? No, we don't. Not in this new love of the crisis of living fully. We have the desire and the willingness, and we find a way to do it the best we can. Tomorrow, I may sleep in again, or maybe I won't. But I know that at some point in the day, I'll be standing in front of some of the greatest art ever seen in my lifetime. Me. See you next time, friends. Thanks for listening and spending part of your day with me. If you like what you hear on the podcast, please subscribe. And if you're so inclined, since you like it anyway, please leave a kind review. For more information, follow me on danjohansen.com, where you'll also find a link to my brand new book, The Way In, which is out and available right now.